Oh boy, drama at Ohio State with their coaching situation right now. I'm not talking about Ryan Day. Not talking, they are not trying to fire Ryan Day just yet. Not super happy with Ryan Day right now, which I get it. I would not be happy with Ryan Day. I'm not happy with Ryan Day. Obviously, I wanted Ohio State to win that game against Miami, but I'm not too happy with Ryan Day either. I get it. But a lot of people really questioning Ryan Day right now, and not the best thing going on for him, as there is an offensive coordinator position that is not currently filled, and Matt Patricia, there are some rumblings, some rumors that he might be off to the NFL. Let's start with the offensive coordinator talk, and then we'll get to Matt Patricia. So, Ohio State hired all 10 of their countable coaches. If you don't know what that means, essentially every single school can hire 10 coaches, and those 10 coaches can go out on the road recruiting. If you are not one of those 10 coaches, you can still make phone calls. You can meet with recruits and stuff like that on campus, but you cannot go out to their high school. You cannot go to their games and meet with them. You cannot do these type of things on the road to go recruit those players. Schools have unlimited amount of coaches to coach on the field and stuff like that now, so you can have 15 different analysts. You could have 20. You could have 50 analysts. Okay, this would be Nick Saban's joy on earth if he could do this right now. And Ohio State has definitely utilized that. They had 3 offensive line coaches this year. They had an assistant defensive line coach. They had an assistant DB coach. They had an assistant running back coach. They had an assistant wide receiver coach. I mean, almost every single position had an assistant coach on their staff, and most of them, were not called analysts. They were called assistant, wide receiver assistant, whatever it might be. And so there is a possibility here that Ohio State could still go outside and hire somebody who just doesn't have recruiting responsibilities. If they chose not to do that and they chose to make one of the 10 accountable guys, then you're looking at a guy like Keenan Bailey, Billy Fessler, or Tyler Bowen, who they all have experience as either offensive coordinators or co-offensive coordinators, but really not enough for this Ohio State offense that really struggled in the final 2 games of the season and struggled in the first game of the season against Texas. A lot of chatter about how they just didn't want to push Julian Sayin and stuff like that, and that makes sense, but it wasn't the one. Julian Sayin wasn't the one messing up in that game. It was some of the wide receivers, the tight ends, drops and stuff like that were really getting to him. So, I think it's fair to say that the offense for Ohio State struggled against Texas. I don't think it was a bad struggle, but nonetheless, it was not up to the standard many people had because of some of the issues they had moving the ball downfield. Anyway, we don't need to talk about Texas. That season's over for Ohio State. All I'm saying is that Ohio State needs to go outside of their coaching staff to go make this hire for the offensive coordinator position, and it looks like they're probably going to do that. And I think that Ohio State is going to be going after an NFL coach, and that's probably one of the perks that they have of not recruiting. Right? They can bring in an NFL, former head coach, former offensive coordinator, and say, look, you don't have to go out on the road and recruit. We know that NFL guys don't like to do this, but what you can do is you can come here and you can just draw up plays, run the offense, and be the head coach of the offense for, all the staff guys that you got. You got young guys on this offensive coaching staff who need a whole lot of leadership. It worked out really well with Chip Kelly 2 years ago. Of course, Chip Kelly at Northwestern now, but it didn't always work out super well under Brian Hartline. And that's not, to bash Brian Hartline. He deserved to get that offensive coordinator job at Ohio State, but there were definitely some issues with the offense this season that, maybe a more seasoned offensive coordinator would have had an easier time correcting. So Ohio State, with it just being Black Monday in the NFL, with, coaches being fired and all that kind of stuff, I think you're going to see Ohio State make an aggressive move toward one of these coaches that was either fired. Maybe they have questions about them. Maybe they're not getting fired. And then you're also looking at maybe somebody who their head coach was fired and they might not have anywhere to go. So my list of guys right now, and I guess I should say this as well, I think Ohio State's going to go after somebody who doesn't just have college NFL experience, but also has college experience as well. I think that's going to be a key thing for Ryan Day, especially with them coming in and needing to run an offense in college that does, have some more tempo and stuff to it that is more friendly to the college game. I think you could see them take a look at Tommy Reese, who has experience at Notre Dame, Alabama. He's been the tight end coach at the Browns, and then he moved up into that offensive coordinator role there. Kevin Stefanski was just fired, so we'll see. Tommy Reese might be looking for a job, and so Ohio State might make sense there. I have some reservations there because it sounds like Tommy Reese has kind of been trying to be everywhere. So it would surprise me if Tommy Reese is the guy there. But at the same time, I was also surprised when Matt Patricia was the guy at Ohio State for the defensive coordinator role. So maybe I should expect it now at this point. But you gotta have some other guys. Zach Robinson, the former Falcons offensive coordinator. Press Taylor, he's the Bears passing game coordinator. He has a pretty good reputation. Brian Daboll obviously has been mentioned a lot. I don't think it'll be him. Kevin Stefanski, and then JT Barrett, the quarterback coach, former quarterback for Ohio State, the quarterback coach for the Lions. Those guys don't have college experience though, so I don't think that's going to happen. The guy that I'm going to have my eyes on is Todd Monken over there, the Ravens offensive coordinator. Not been a great year for the Ravens. Fans are kind of split. Some people really don't like Todd Monken. Some people are really happy with Todd Monken, and they're just saying it was a bad year, bad injuries. Lamar Jackson just had his worst year in the NFL, maybe besides his rookie year. His rookie year might have been worse. I don't recall. I don't follow the NFL all that close. I just, see what I see. But he also had his best year in the NFL under Todd Monken. So a lot of thought process there. What might happen? John Harbaugh, there's some questions if he is going to come back. Todd Monken obviously won a national championship at Georgia. If Ohio State did hire Todd Monken, I would have a whole lot of confidence in this Ohio State team again. Not to say I don't have confidence in them now, but I don't have as much confidence in them after they won the national championship. So we'll see what happens here. Right now, I think Todd Monken's probably the most likely one if they can sway him to come over. He's making about $3 million a year right now in the NFL. Ohio State has paid more than that, or has Ohio State offered about that much to Jim Knowles when he was going over to Penn State. So if they offered that to Jim Knowles and they think that this offensive coordinator could be exactly what they need, they could offer that again. But we'll definitely see what happens here. Even if it's not Munkin, even if it's not Tommy Reese, I do expect Ohio State to go after somebody with NFL experience, just because Ryan Day does seem to value that a lot. On the other side of the ball, defensive coordinator Matt Patricia. Former Ohio State player Bobby Carpenter was on his podcast and on another podcast and on his radio show, hinting that Matt Patricia might just be leaving Ohio State. Now, there was a lot of talk about how there needed to be an extension signed for Matt Patricia later in the year. That extension never got done. This was something that I was monitoring very closely, and with Bobby Carpenter now speaking up about it a little bit, as he is very connected and very close to the program, and not seeing an extension done, it does look like Matt Patricia might just be leaving the Ohio State Buckeyes to go to the NFL. Word is from NFL sites and insiders that Matt Patricia is getting calls from the NFL, and he's not gotten any offers yet, but he is somebody that is expected to get a number of offers by new head coaches or maybe coaches who just fired their defensive coordinator, as it might be something that Matt Patricia is very interested in, as he might just want more of the NFL game than he does the college game. But Matt Patricia seems to have thrived in college football. He's done a really good job with the players. He's talked about the family environment. I believe he has 3 kids, 2 boys, maybe a daughter as well. And all the indication is that his wife really likes it in Columbus. So maybe Matt Patricia sticks around for another year or two with his family being happy there. They kind of moved around a lot after the Patriots. So another year of being stable. And, the NFL, college, actually, I don't know which one's more stable. I would think that college football would be a little bit more stable, but maybe it's not. Maybe the NFL is more stable. I don't know. Both of them, but coaches get fired in both of them. But as far as I'm concerned, I think Matt Patricia is probably going to stay. I think Ohio State's going to pay whatever they need to pay to keep him around, as long as he doesn't get like a $6 million deal or anything like that, which that was ridiculous. Chip Kelly got that last year. It was a big reason why he got fired. As long as he didn't get something like that, I tend to believe that Matt Patricia will stick around. It sounds like Ohio State is willing to pay whatever they need to match an NFL offer to keep him around for at least one more season, and we'll see what happens after that. The thing that has a lot of Ohio State fans buzzing right now is the post that Matt Patricia put out. He put this out on Instagram. It says 2 hours ago. That wasn't when I took this. This was, I think, about 3 o'clock when I took this. So this probably went out around 1, 2 o'clock. when that actually happens. So Matt Patricia just, thanking Buckeye Nation for the season, kind of reflecting a little bit. And some Ohio State fans are taking this as, always saying goodbye. He got an offer. He got something. It seems really, really early for Matt Patricia to be getting a job offer in the NFL. Maybe he leaves tomorrow. I don't know. We'll see. But it just seems really, really quick. Matt Patricia seems like the kind of guy that it just kind of posts whenever he wants to post. I don't know. You let me know what your thoughts are on this Instagram post. Do you think this Instagram post is a goodbye to Buckeye fans? Do you think this is bad news? Do you think this is good news? Him showing admiration and saying, hey, I really love it at Ohio State. I want to come back. I love, my family loves it here. The picture of him with his family, all that good stuff. Let me know what you think in the comment section. If I had to guess right now, I'm probably 55% that Matt Patricia stays. But I'll be honest, this Instagram post did sway me a little bit. I was probably 65%, and then I saw this post and this brought it down a little bit. So let me know your comments, what you think is going to happen with Matt Patricia. Let me know what you think is going to happen with the offensive coordinator position for Ohio State. Are Ohio State fans just dreaming for Todd Monken, or is it something that's going to happen, or are they going to be stuck with Tommy Reese? Oh my! If they're stuck with Tommy Reese, yeah, you can look for a really bad offseason. Of Ohio State. Not a really bad offseason. Ohio State fans being very upset in the offseason, I think. Most people came around on Matt Patricia a little bit. I don't think there's going to be many people that come around on Tommy Reese. So thanks for watching this one. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll come back with our final segment about Kirk Cinetti.